No
Thank
problem.
you so much. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. How is everyone?
Good, thank you.
Yeah, lively, good. Half asleep, awake,
Awake.
awake. You're ready for what?
We're ready for this presentation.
Love it, love it. We got one more coming in. Hello.
How are you?
So we have some notepads and pens. These will be used throughout the whole presentation, and they're yours to keep. So I
Nice.
encourage you to write down anything that you see up here that connects with you. Also, if I'm speaking and your mind goes off somewhere else and you have another thought that connects with you, jot it down. So these are your journals. So anything you do, no one else will see it. So, and do we have a clicker, or am I just using the?
You can use the mouse.
Is this it?
No.
Oh, the mouse. Okay. Very well. So welcome to the Real Way, and everyone can hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay. So the Real Way, we will be talking about finding success while coping with setbacks in life. And as you can see, we have 6 parts. Part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the Real Way is who are you, what are you, and why are you? Or you could say it's your identity, your purpose, and your role. And that's what we're going to be focused on and going over the next 50 minutes. But before we get into the way, we kind of got to go over some of the basics, and that's understanding you vocabulary. All right, let's start. So the goal word that we want to achieve to figure out the real way is authenticity. And that's the way people want to live. They want to live in a way that's in tune to who they are. But attaining that authenticity is not necessarily always the easiest. You have hiccups that come up along the way, like other emotions and other setbacks that push you back to actually feel like you have control over your life. So as you can see here, we have alienation. That's something that can pop up. Maybe you feel like a stranger in your own world and no one can help you make sense of your existence. You're left just wondering what's the point of you and why are you stuck in this rut, and are you going to be stuck in this rut forever? And it's impossible for you to pull yourself out because you're so convinced that you have no hope. But you do have hope, and you have to believe that you have hope, and I'm going to show you how to believe that you have hope. So next we also have responsibility. Responsibilities. Those are so hard. Family obligations, homework, school, after-school jobs. There's so many levels of responsibility that come up in your daily life that sometimes it's fun for you to go out there and do what you want to do. Other times it holds you back and you feel like you're being held down. But everyone has responsibilities, so it's how you juggle those responsibilities and how you handle those responsibilities that sort of starts to help you build your character that you can identify with yourself. And next we have, excuse me 1 second. Hi, I'm just going to give you.
I'm sitting in my car in a den.
That's all right. You look nice and dry, which is important.
I waited for it to stop.
All right, so we got over alienation and responsibility. Let's get into jealous. How many people have ever felt jealous before? Okay, all hands? Someone over there has never felt jealous. Must be nice. Oh, there we go. So this is very challenging because it can go from someone having a relationship with someone, whether it's a love relationship or a friend relationship that you don't necessarily have, that can cause you to be jealous. It can also be maybe someone got into a different school or a different college or got a different job that can cause you to be jealous. Or maybe someone got a new pair of sneakers or clothes or a better car than you have or you think you have. So that kind of helps you feel like you are losing control of your life, and it helps you to feel like you really just suck because you aren't able to achieve what someone else achieves, and you start comparing yourself to someone else's standard of living, which then helps you also feel alienated because you can't keep up with them. But along the way, after you feel alienated and you have your responsibilities and you experience that touch of jealousy, you also start to realize that you become a little bit more of you. You become a more individual person because how you handle each of those 3 emotions helps shape you to become who you are. And as you can see individuality is an important part of developing an authentic and satisfying life. So, how you handle problems, and we're going to go over some of these keywords later. This is just kind of for you to take in and sort of know where we're going. And if, again, any of these words stand out to you, write them down, jot them down, because if your memory is anything like mine, you'll see it, you'll be like, that's pretty great, I'm going to remember that. And then about 2 seconds, once you leave here, you're going to be like, should have wrote that down, I have no idea what he said. And then lastly, we have passion and engagement. Being passionate or engaged is another important aspect of living, because it's something that you love to do, so that's going to become a part. That's going to become a part of who you are. That's going to become a part of your makeup. And that's going to make you an individual and make you authentic because you're happy with what you're doing because you have passion. And you also might be wondering, why do I even need to know these words? Well, that's a good question. It's a step towards understanding yourself. These emotions awaken you to the cracks in the system and force you to face your existence square in the face, alerting you to a problem, also though, alerting you to new possibilities, which is so absolutely amazing that through problems and setbacks, there's also a whole new avenue of possibilities opening, and that's what opens for you when you face the reality of your situation honestly. And so, without further ado, I'm going to show you how to face the reality of your situations by showing you part 2, who are you? Identity. Who are you? Would someone like to define identity? There's no right or wrong answers. What does identity mean to you? Okay, we'll have to shake you guys up. Yes.
The characteristics or qualities that describe you.
Okay, beautiful. Looks like you've been studying my notes.
What you do, like your actions.
Okay, what you do, your actions, yes.
Like what makes you, like what, like your, things that you do and that defines who you are.
Okay, beautiful. You guys are absolutely incredible. So I have identity. My definition is mine. Yours are also not incorrect. Yours are yours, which is awesome. I define it as a person, group, or idea you feel most connected with that helps shape your personalities. And in case you wanted some examples, we have maybe a church or a musician, actor, author, family member, race, clothing line, anything that you feel connected to that helps shape you could be your identity. So let's keep on moving here. Oh man, this. Who has ever gotten a text like this? I don't think I'm going to make it tonight. I'm super sick. A text like that, anyone? Of course. You?
No.
No, you've sent them.
I've sent them.
Okay, very well.
Yeah, I sent them a lot.
You send them a lot. Oh my goodness.
I'm getting better at it.
Okay. Has it been conflicting you? You've been losing sleep over sending these things?
No, I lose sleep over like school.
Okay, very nice. So I highlighted this text because I feel like it's something that we're all kind of familiar with. And now when you get this sort of text, you have to take into account some of the questions that arise with this text. So question 1 would be, who is this person in relation to you? Perhaps you got a text just from your good neighborhood best friend. You were going to go over and watch some hockey or some NBA or The Voice, I believe, if that hasn't ended yet. I'm not up to date. I just watched it on YouTube, so I'm not sure if it's ended. But maybe you just had a casual friend hangout. So you think, they're not able to make it. No big loss. I'm not that worried. I'll see him later. But what happens if it was someone that you loved? You got the phone number of a girl or a guy that you've been crushing on for years, since elementary school, and you finally get this phone number and you think, yes, I can hear the wedding bells, I can see the flower girl throwing the beautiful petals all over the ground, this is going to be great. And you're getting ready, you're putting on your dress or your suit. I don't think people actually wear suits to dates anymore, but I'm an old-fashioned guy. So you get this text and you're like, my life is over, why doesn't this person want to go out with me? And then it really starts to stick to you and sink in, and it helps shape you because you think, what am I doing wrong? What's wrong with me that this person doesn't want to go out? So it went from being excited to just being incredibly sort of sad and depressed, and really start to overthink your own existence and not necessarily look at the person that sent it, but you look at yourself and you really start to critique yourself and become a victim to yourself. And then you have to ask yourself, what was the importance of these plans? Maybe you get a text from your mom because you were going to dinner, and then she sends you these texts. And if you get a text like this from a loved one, you think, oh man, maybe she's really sick. Now I'm concerned. Now my mood has changed to concern, which now also shapes how you're going to move forward through your day and how your relationship will change with that person. And then you have to ask yourself, how does this make you feel? And as we talked about, maybe with a friend, you don't feel as lost or as angry about canceling of the plans. But again, maybe it was that person you were in love with that really starts to sink in, and you start moving forward and changing how you act with other people and how you get phone numbers and how you approach people to go out. So everything about you changes. And then you also have to ask yourself, does this happen a lot? Was this just a one-time thing that sort of came and went and I'm not going to lose sleep over it? Or am I losing out on opportunities to go out with people all the time? And these are just questions you have to ask yourself, because these are all questions that are going through your mind as you get a text, as you send out a text. So it's very important for you to understand how it feels on this end and on the receiving end. And so how do you handle this? How do you handle this sort of disappointment? Well, that's what I'd like to talk to you about in part 2. Is it all just good and bad? Well, that is a choice. Purpose. What are you? Got purpose? I don't know how they do it. I was trying to do the got milk guy. I don't think I succeeded one bit. Who wants to define purpose?
Purpose is your reason for doing something.
Okay, nice, thank you. Who else? I need some more. You know, let's take a minute and shake you guys up. We got everyone stand up for a minute. This whole room is sleepy. Yes.
Purpose is it's like what you were meant to do. Like it was like or purpose is like what you're here for.
Okay.
And also it's deeper than that.
Deeper than that. I like that. Okay.
It is a tricky one.
This is a tricky one. It's correct. I think that purpose is like what your aspirations are, like what you think. You can have like a purpose for yourself, and you can have purpose like that other people like classify your purpose as.
Okay. That's really great. Thank you. Yes.
Like you're kind of doing something for a reason. It's like what you're trying to, like what you're intending to do. So like if you're trying to prove something, or
Okay. No, that's
Precisely.
That's really great. I do want to see everyone stand up. We're just going to do one exercise to get everyone moving. We're going to do some flows. Now go with me here. I'm making this up as I go. So we're going to put our arms up. Then we're going to put our arms down. We're going to go halfway up. And then we're going to go halfway down. And then we're going to shake it off. Shake it off. And then we're going to jump. That's right. That's right. And then one more flow up. One spin. And how do we feel? A little more lively?
Silly.
All right. There we go. So, purpose. I define it as why you do what you do, searching for meaning. So, thank you for all of those who volunteered. And examples of this would be providing for your family, being a mentor, creating art, educating yourself, singing, being an athlete. And along the lines of trying to figure out who you are and what you are, you also have to see things for how they are. And so here we have, see a situation for what it is. Good or bad, not crazy about that word bad. I prefer the word lousy. So some examples, who here has ever run out of gas before? Okay, I'll join that group over there. It's not that fun. It stinks. You run out, you're on the side of the road waiting for AAA to come to your rescue or a friend to come to your rescue, and the whole time you're like, why didn't I just put even $5 in my tank to run this errand? You called the bluff and you lost on making it to where you had to go. And sometimes you can be hard on yourself and be like, I'm an idiot, I'm stupid, why didn't I go put gas in my car? This isn't the first time I've done this, I always seem to mess up in life, and you can start to berate yourself and be hard on yourself. Has anyone ever been hard on themselves for a silly reason such as running out of gas? Because it's really not all that bad. Because once you get gas, okay, maybe you lost an hour, 45 minutes, But then you're back on the road, you're safe, you have all your limbs, you might be a little bit behind, but for everything that happened, it's not that lousy. It's not that bad. How about this one? A parent diagnosed with a sickness. Now, just because it's not bad, just because it's bad doesn't mean there has to be a good side to it. There's a lot of trauma that comes with a parent being sick. You have a lot of issues at home, your mind gets consumed with different thoughts, and it's very taxing on you. And so that is very lousy because it changes your whole life. And it's important when this happens, when things happen outside of the silly, like running out of gas scenarios, and something more like maybe you didn't get into college or your parent is sick with an illness, to not use negative words on yourself that make you feel even more down than you are. Because it doesn't always have to be good as long as it's not negative. And maybe some of you have already read ahead. Why avoid negative? Because when being negative, you're not even giving yourself a chance to view a situation objectively. You just use words that support your behavior and help you to live in your own world that you've created of misery and pain. How many people have done something similar to that? Yes, yes, okay. Thank you. It's not very fun, and it's hard to pull yourself out of, and you're not looking at it objectively. So when you're negative, it makes you blind to actuality and reality. So when you talk to yourself when you're being negative and you say horrible things to yourself like, I suck, I fail at life, I will never. You say those words enough, you will eventually start to believe every word you say because you're convincing yourself that you do, and your body language will start to show. Your shoulders will slouch down, you'll start to have a frown face on permanently. No one likes to wear a frown face. I don't even like looking at frown faces. I like to see smiling faces, even if something's going on. So it's easy for me to stand up here and tell you, don't whisper, and it's easy for me to shout these words, but you have to shout it and you have to believe it. So on the count of 3, we're gonna go bing, bang, boom. We're gonna go, I rule, I'm bold, I'm confident, all on the count of 3. So 1, 2, 3. I rule, I'm bold, I'm confident. I didn't really believe this room, I'll be honest with you. Let's try it again, and we're gonna do it again until we all shake the walls. So everyone ready? 1, 2, 3.
I rule, I'm bold, I'm confident.
And now we're gonna do it one more time with your shoulders back, because shoulders back makes you feel so much more proud. So let's try it again. Last time on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
I rule, I'm bold, I'm confident.
You're starting to almost believe it, right? You're starting to feel a little more confident and bold. That last one was fantastic. So here we have, 4 good, 4 lousy moments from the past month. So we're going to take a few minutes, and those notepads I handed out, we're going to write 4 good, 4 lousy moments from the past month, and then we're going to share one of each from a few people. Now, what's that? Do you have a question?
Like last month or like just?
So the beauty of this exercise is I don't know your calendar, so you can go into the. Okay. Just what comes to your mind
Okay.
from the past week, month, year. 4 good, 4 lousy. Give you another 30 or so seconds to finish this up. All right. And then when we share, just wrap up whatever part you're working on. We're going to share one person for each row. So it's only unfair for this one gentleman back here who's in the row by himself.
I thought I was.
So, sir, would you like to, what's your name?
Joe.
Joe, would you like to start us off with one